Hey, ever pictured electric vehicles just cruising around Lagos, like you see them in other places, but here, today we're really diving into this whole world of EVs in Nigeria, the potential, what's tough about it, and the exciting future. And to help us break it down, we've got our expert on all things electric.
It's really getting big, and for good reason. The whole world is kind of shifting towards EVs, and Nigeria, we've got a real shot to be a part of this and really benefit.
Okay, so some people, they think EVs are just a trend, something for rich people. What about the rest of us? Can we really be a part of this?
That's the question, right? It's true, they can be expensive at first, but you save so much over time. Think about it, no more trips to the petrol station.
Oh, I can imagine a dream come true, right? No fuel lines, no oil changes, none of those surprise repair bills.
Exactly. And it's not just you, it's the planet, too. No nasty emissions, cleaner cities, and we rely less on those fossil fuels. Legos on a busy day, think how much cleaner the air could be.
Wow, that's powerful. We all feel that pollution, especially in the cities. But can it really work here? Like our power situation? That's a big one.
You got it. The electricity, that's a big concern, especially for charging. If the lights are going out, how are we charging cars?
Exactly. We can't just hope for the best. We need a plan B. So what's the solution? We all run it on generators.
Well, it's not quite that simple. We need something that lasts. That's where solar comes in. Imagine charging your car with the power of the sun.
Hold on, rewind. We can use solar to charge cars. That's incredible.
Absolutely. Nigeria, we've got sunshine for days. It's a huge opportunity to build up renewable energy, support the EVs, and ditch those fossil fuels. Cleaner future, here we come.
This is a game changer. So we got the potential, but also big challenges. How do we make sure everyone even has access to charging?
That's key, right? We're still figuring out the whole charging station thing in Nigeria, but we can build it right, make it reliable, use smart tech, and make it easy for everyone to get on board with EVs.
Imagine just driving around, knowing there's a charging station a few blocks away, no matter where you are. We got to start thinking about this now. It's not going to happen overnight.
You got it. We got to be smart, invest in a real plan. It's not just about the stations themselves, but a whole system for electric cars here. The more stations, the more people will want the cars, then we need more stations, and it just goes on.
Yeah, it's like a snowball effect. We got to get this thing rolling.
Yeah.
We've talked about the good and the bad, but there's still a lot to cover. Like, can people even afford these things? How much does an electric car even cost here? And how do we make sure everyone can get one?
That's the big question, right? The price tag on these EVs, it's a hurdle for a lot of us. They're pricier than those petrol cars we're used to.
Yeah, so it's a big decision. Makes sense with all that tech involved. But how do we make them, actually affordable? What can we do?
Well, the government, they could help out. Like, imagine tax breaks for people who buy EVs or some kind of discount. Make it doable for everyday Nigerians.
Now, that would be huge. It's like a sign, right? We're serious about this electric thing.
Yeah.
We want you to be a part of it.
Exactly. And it's bigger than just us, regular people buying cars. The government could encourage businesses to, get EVs in their fleets, delivery companies using electric vans, or taxis going green even. It could change everything.
Now you're getting me thinking. We could even start building these EVs here, create jobs, boost our own manufacturing.
Right. We don't just have to buy them from somewhere else. We can make them here. We've got the smarts, the engineers, the technicians right here in Nigeria ready for this.
This is a good point. We talk about the environment, which is super important, but this is about the economy too. A
Yeah.
greener future, yeah, but also a better one for everyone.
Exactly. And think about this. We rely so much on other countries for oil, prices going up and down. Who knows what's going to happen in the world? But with these EVs and solar power, we're in control.
Now that's what I'm talking about. But let's get practical for a sec. Say I'm sold, ready to go electric. What about maintenance? Is it easier, harder than the cars we have now?
Funny you should ask, because EVs, they actually need less maintenance.
Less. Now that I like to hear. Tell me more.
Think about it. Fewer moving parts. No oil changes, no spark plugs, no exhaust system to worry about. That's less time at the mechanic, less money spent over time.
Okay, less money on fuel, less money on fixing it up. But what about when something actually breaks? EVs seem pretty complex. We have people here who can handle that.
That's a good point. Less maintenance overall, but you need the right know-how to fix them. The good news is we've got more and more mechanics here in Nigeria getting trained up on EV repair.
So we're not starting from zero, right?
Yeah.
We've got people learning, getting ready. Sounds like a good opportunity for mechanics to get ahead of the curve.
Yeah, exactly. It's like anything new, right? New tech, new jobs, new skills. We need those technical schools, training centers, even the companies making these EVs to get involved. Make sure we've got people ready to make this work.
You mentioned earlier Nigeria is still early on in this whole EV thing. So for everyday people, is it worth thinking about now, or should we wait and see what happens?
That's the million-dollar question. Honestly, it's different for everyone. Some people, they've got reliable charging, they can afford it. Maybe now's the time to check it out. But for most, it's about staying in the loop, being
Yeah.
ready.
I like that. Informed and prepared, like getting ready for a big guest, making sure everything's set. What can people actually do now to get ready, even if they're not buying an EV tomorrow?
Just be curious. Read about it, see what kind of electric cars are out there, learn about those charging stations popping up. The more you know, the better, right?
Knowledge is power. That's what they say. And I bet as more people get interested, we'll see more info, more options. It builds on itself.
Exactly. And talk to people about it. Your friends, family, coworkers. Share what's got you excited, listen to their worries. Got to be part of the conversation, right? This is about how things change here in Nigeria.
So true. We think about the government, the big companies, but it's us talking to each other that really makes things happen, creates a buzz. And speaking of buzz, look at us. We've covered a lot of ground. The good, the bad, the money, even just the everyday stuff about electric vehicles in Nigeria. This has been, dare I say it, electrifying.
It really has. And it shows you this isn't just about new cars on the road. It's about rethinking our cities, how we get around, where we get our power. It's
Oh,
about the
yeah.
future, really.
Big picture stuff, and that's what makes this so exciting, right? Here in Nigeria, we can be leading the way, building a future that's cleaner, greener, better for everyone. And on that note, folks, we're going to wrap up this deep dive. But here's a little something to think about. We've talked a lot about the good that EVs can do, but every change, there's always a flip side. What could be some of the downsides? Things that could happen that maybe we don't expect. Just something to ponder as you navigate this whole new world of electric vehicles. Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.